I smiled at both of you when you logged in.
All right, welcome. I love that Jamie and
Like,
Chris hopped on. So happy to see you guys. All right, I hope you guys all had a lovely Christmas and a very exciting Happy New Year. You were probably just playing games with kids like I was on New Year's Eve, but maybe you did something more exciting than that. Although, honestly, I probably wouldn't have it any other way because I loved it. All right, so I just want to jump right in. And I don't know if you guys have felt this way, but for me, sorry, I'm kind of at an angle because my computer's in my bed, so I hope you can see me okay. For me, like going through the last couple months of like holidays and Christmas and everything else, things get busy, and sometimes I just want to slow down and I want to be lazy sometimes. I think we all get like that, right? And sometimes when you're doing that, it's like, oh, why can't I just do this all day, every day? Like maybe you guys don't feel that way. I tend to either be like a goer or I just want to like lay down and do nothing. And I was kind of feeling that this last week, like from Christmas to New Year's, like that week, I was like, oh my gosh, like I literally am so not motivated to do anything. Like I don't want to work out. I could watch a whole series in a day. Like, I don't know. I just totally start to like get sucked into feeling the holiday, like slow down laziness. But I was thinking about how I felt that way and about my thoughts. And I was like, why do I feel that way? Like, what is going on in my head? Why do I not want to do anything? Why am I not motivated? And what it came down to for me was my why. Like, why do I show up when I don't want to? Why do I show up when I don't feel like I can do anything, when I'm not maybe good at what I'm doing, when I feel like I'm sucking, when I have all those negative thoughts? Like, why do we still show up, right? And we have to come back to our why. Like, why? And that's one thing I really want you guys all to do this week is come back to your why. Because it's really easy to get thrown off. And you guys, it is okay to slow down. It is okay to take a break. Slow down if you need to, but don't stop because you're here for a reason. And you are led here for a reason. And you are meant to help others and inspire others and to move forward. And I know it. So reevaluate your why this week. If you're feeling the way that I felt last week, I really want you guys to reevaluate that. Why are you here? And why does this team need you? And why do other people that you maybe don't even have on your team yet, why do they need you to show up? And then I want you guys to claim your goal. So when I first started Plexus, I was the kind of person that was like, I don't do goals. Like I don't do New Year's resolutions. I don't do that because if I do, like I would only set a goal if I was like positive I could hit it, right? But I would never really stretch or dream because that was scary and it meant that maybe I would not hit it or fail. And really, I stopped dreaming for a really long time. It was hard for me. In fact, like my husband and I had a lot of conversations where he was like, let's do this and this and this and make this happen. And for me, I was just like, no, that's just heartbreak waiting to happen, right? But I want you guys to think about a goal in a different light. Okay, so when we set goals, why do we set them? Why do we set goals?
To have vision.
Yeah, to have vision. Like, is it just like, is hitting the goal the only point, right? Like, Melissa is hitting Ruby. Like, when you get to Ruby, is it suddenly going to change your life? Like, probably not. Like, yes, it will change your life in a positive way, but like, you'll still be the same Melissa. So what's the point of even doing it and showing up and getting there?
Sorry, did you ask me a question? My kids walked in the room.
It's okay. I was just saying, what's the point of getting to a goal if you're still, gonna be the same, right? Like I kind of, when I first started doing this, I was like, oh, when I hit Ruby, everything's gonna change. And honestly, like I still felt like the same person. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, why do we set goals then? Just keep that in mind, maybe. Like, it's not like you guys have to answer it, just like answer it inside for yourself. Like, what is the point of setting a goal for you, and reevaluate your why. So I wanted to talk a little bit about something that we don't usually really talk about. And it is some of the incentives and things that we have going on this year. So if you guys have not been here for very long, I know Lauren is new, and I don't know how much you know about this, Teresa, you too, but when you hit Emerald in the company, they take you on a trip. In the past, they've taken you to Hawaii, people to the Hawaii, but this year it's in, I hope I'm saying it right, Mayakoba, and in Mexico. And it is a trip for two, so you get to take your spouse. And it's, this year it's September 7th through the 12th.
And you can't take your family, just so you know.
What?
You can take your family, you can take your kids. They don't pay for your kids, but like if you wanted to make it a family vacation, your kids can go too.
Yeah. I know Emily Gibson took her kids last year, and I think they just got like one extra room, but then like everything was paid for other than like their kids. So, but that is the September, and you have to be Emerald by July 31st to earn it. And I want you guys to all envision yourself being there, because my goal is to be there. And I want as many of you as possible to be there with me too. And so I want you guys just to dream big with me for a minute, because like I said, sometimes it's hard to dream when you're in scarcity, or when you just think that it's not possible, you're not capable, or why the heck am I even doing this, or who do I really think I am, right? But I want you guys to all dream with me for a minute. By the way, Teresa, I love your pajamas. I think I got a little glimpse of them for a second. So yes, they're so cute, and I like your glasses. Okay, so first off, I believe that we can all be there. And I'm like, literally, like I have chills in my bones right now saying this, because I'm not like filling you guys full of crap. Like I had this like vision today, and I was like, I am scared to dream again, because, oh, I'm gonna get emotional, but this last year, like I felt like I hit my dream already. My dream was to be out of debt, you guys, and we did that. And I was just like, okay, I've done it, like cool, I'm good, you know? But I was like, no, that's not why I show up though. That's not why I'm here. It wasn't just for me, it was for other people too. And I want to dream a bigger dream, because I want all of you guys to dream a bigger dream, and I want you to touch people's lives. And so I was thinking about each and every one of you, and I was thinking about your next rank ups. And today I was looking at this, and I just wanted to share it with you. If you're gold right now, I'm going to start at gold. And Lauren and Teresa, you're not far away, so you'd only have to add a tiny bit to this. If you're gold right now, you would have to add 45 people to your team per month to be Emerald by July, and it is possible. I know you're thinking 45 people, and it might not look like that, right? Like the first month it might be like 10, and then it might be like 20, you know? But I remember when I was doing this with, it was like right after I started, you guys, I was big and pregnant. I had just started sharing about the products, and Christy Jex took me to Starbucks, and we sat down in front of her computer for 3 hours, and she said, what are your goals? And I was like, I don't set goals. Like I was like literally like, no. And she's like, okay, so what if you add 16 people to your team every month, and you are senior gold in 2.5 months, or 2 months from like where I was at, right? And I was like, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like I had to add 16 people per month. And I was like, that's not gonna happen. Like I don't even know 16 people period that like want to do this. So like how am I gonna add 16 people per month? Like I totally didn't think it was gonna happen, you guys. But guess what? I did it, and I did it pregnant, and I literally went senior gold like a week before I had my baby. Like I'm getting choked up. Oh, I went senior gold like a week before I had my baby. And it was amazing. Like, just, it was incredible. But I wouldn't have done that if I wouldn't have set that goal and if somebody wouldn't have pushed me and if I wouldn't have written it down. So I encourage you to write down your goal. If your goal is not to be emerald by July, that's fine. Like, I'm not telling you that has to be your goal. I'm just telling you if you want it, you're capable of it, right? But maybe your goal is to be ruby by July. And we can drum up those numbers and we can write it down and we can get clear on that goal. But I'm just gonna, for casting vision and dreaming big, we're just gonna talk about going emerald by July, okay? So gold is 45 people. If you're senior gold right now, Melissa, Carly, you need to add 40 people a month. Now, there is going to be some attrition. That's with about 5 people per month, like losing 5 people a month in attrition. But what you would have to do is you'd have to really focus on retention, working with your people and really leading them to love their products and have success on their products, okay? If you're Ruby, you need 33 people a month. If you're a senior Ruby, you need 26 people a month. That is so doable, you guys, okay? So just to dream big, how fun would it be if we were all laying under palm trees on a beach in Mexico together with our nails done, holding hands and sipping on virgin margaritas, right? I just want you guys to know that dreaming is hard when you're stuck in a rut. And I know because I've been there. You're like, oh, I'm not capable. Like, it just feels like the world is on your shoulders and like you're never going to get anywhere. But I want you to know that it's possible. It's possible when you get really clear and when you write it down and when you have a vision and when you pray and God is on your side. Because I don't know how else I've done this business without God on my side. You guys, like, I didn't think I knew 16 people a month. I didn't think I did, and it's happened. So that's just, I want you guys to dream big. And if you're open to it, write down your next goal and write down where you want to be by July. And then I am so happy, and I know Jess is too, to sit down with you guys through Zoom or even this weekend, because I'm so excited to see most of you guys. And just like write up like how many people you need per month to get your goal and how we can work on that. And I think for me, and like in the beginning, my mind of like ranking was always like that I had to do it all on my own. And that felt really heavy, right? But when you change your thought from doing everything on your own to developing and helping like build leaders, it gets a lot easier and it's so much more fun when you have somebody to do it with. And there's people you know in your life that would want to do this with you. I know it. So
I just wanted to add too, like, who feels like they're in a rut when it comes to sharing Plexus, like with posting last month? Like, you post, because I'm right there with you, Lauren. Like, I would post and I would get 1 like, and then no one would reach out to me, and I didn't feel like my posts were as engaged. I didn't feel like I was like giving myself and putting myself out there in a way that someone needed to hear it. And I was talking to my husband about this, and he's like, but how often do people just kind of give up on their yearly goals in December? Like, you hit school break, so your kids are home. You kind of forget to go to the gym because you're too busy with trying to keep your kids entertained, or the daycare's closed. Like me, I can't even go to the gym when my kids are all home because I don't even have a daycare to take my kids to. It's busy. People get sick, Christmas activities. And so I feel that way with Plexus too. People just kind of throw their whole health goals out the window. And then what happens January 1st? The parking lot is jammed packed at the gym because everybody starts going. So like, this is like the time right now. This is like the prime season. This is like when the meat is tender, because I feel like this is the time that people really want to get their health back. And Josh really had a good point. Like, he went to the gym this morning at 5:30 to get there early. And he said the whole parking lot was full. Every single parking spot was taken. And it wasn't like that a week ago. So I think we have to remember that, like, yes, last month was dead, but this is a new year. This is a new month. And this is a way to look at the vision. Was someone
Yeah.
trying to say something?
What?
I just didn't know if someone was trying to talk. I could just hear someone trying to talk. So
It was kind of echoey, that's why.
Oh, sorry. It might have been because I wasn't muted, but I could hear you.
Oh, okay. So like that's kind of what I wanted to add. Like you're gonna go through months where it's like crickets. But how often do you guys get on social media and you just scroll? Like I'm so guilty of it. Like I'll find myself scrolling and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm wasting so much time. There are people that because they're so busy, they get tired, they get worn out, they're distracted, that they're just scrolling, but I promise you they're watching. So as you continue to share about your plexus journey, about your life, being vulnerable, January is a new month, a new year, and people want to get their health back. Like January to like March, you guys, is like it's hot. It's a hot season because then what happens in March? The gym pass people start they don't go anymore. Like you start to kind of see the parking lot open up a little. You start to see not as many people going, and this is a great time to get people going on their 90-day journey to get them feeling good again and getting their health back. So I just wanted to add that in there because I have been posting and I have been getting a lot of interest. It's been crickets, and I got 3 enrollments last month. And that came by a surprise for me because these are people that I didn't even know that were on my radar. They don't like anything. They don't post anything. In fact, one of my level one said, do not shout my name out anywhere. I don't want my name on that 3 days of plexus. I don't want anyone to know that I'm on plexus. That's how hidden she's been. She doesn't like anything or post anything, but she enrolled like 2 days ago. So I want you to know people are watching. People see how well you are thriving, how you are feeling. They're going to see that. And this is the perfect time to do it. So I wanted to add that in there as like part of your vision. Like, yeah, Mexico would be great, but I share because I want to help someone get their health back. And if that helps me get to Mexico, great. But my vision right now is to focus on how many prayers are being said every single night to have their health back. I just made a list of everyone in my funnel that has ever liked or posted anything in December and reached out to me and I haven't heard back from them. They're on my list. They're on my funnel. This is my vision. Yes, this helps me get to Mexico, but this is not why I share. I share because I once was that mom, that 33-year-old mom who pleaded with God to find answers and to have healing. And little did I know, one of my best friends had the answer in her lap, but she hadn't shared on social media yet. So I promise you, as you continue to share, you will answer someone's prayer. And yes, it will get you to Mexico, but find your vision and your why. And I promise the reap is coming.
Yeah, I love that. I think that we all share because the products have touched us in some way or another, right? But it's okay to also have goals that you want and to enjoy something that you want for yourself as well, right? Like to me, going to Mexico with my husband is going to strengthen my marriage with him, right? Like, and that's important to me. That's part of my why too. And maybe you bring your whole family and it strengthens your family bond and like your whole family gets to enjoy that time and have that memory. I don't think it's selfish to want that, right? And it isn't the number one reason why I share, but it definitely is like, oh yeah, that would be really fun. That would be awesome. And I would love to have you all there with me. Okay, so.
Jess, can I ask Jess a quick question?
Yeah.
On that list, is that people you're saying that you've seen them post on their own page about health things, or was that people that have interacted or liked your thing?
It's people that like have liked my post, or like, you know how you kind of see the recurrent people that like your post?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's interesting because she doesn't like other stuff. But anytime I post about plexus, she's always the number one. Like, for example, April Wilcox, she likes everything I post when it comes to plexus. And so I just like write her name down, or if they've reached out, like if they've had a question or, DM me if interested. Like this is anybody in December that I've talked to, or they've been liking my posts, or they've talked about their health. Like April does it all the time. Like I just write down anybody that is pretty much in my funnel that I need to be just like, I'm going to kind of go off tangent for a minute, Nicole. So have you guys ever heard of angel numbers? I've been learning about this. So Christy Jex actually talks about this a lot. She sees 111 everywhere all day, multiple times a day. And a couple months ago, I started seeing them all day, every day. It symbolizes that you are doing something right in your life. And it can be any number. 111 is the most apparent number, but I see 1:11 p.m. I see 11:11. And it's everywhere, you guys, on receipts, on when I was ordering Plexus, my total came to 111. At Costco, my total came to 111. I see it everywhere. And I tell my husband, I'm like, it's 111, 11:11. Like anytime I'm looking at my phone, it's always 111. So now that I've said this, recognize it in your life. Like, I just feel like I'm doing something that I should be doing. And if you Google that, like what's the definition of angel numbers or 111, it will tell you that the universe, like you're in a line with the universe. And this sounds so hokey pokey. Like I never thought I'd be this girl, but I truly do believe what we put out in the universe, it comes back to you. Like, have you ever like thought about someone and said, I need to reach out to them? Not even about Plexus. Like they're on my mind. I'm going to reach out to them. And then you don't. And then you run into them at the grocery store. Have you guys ever done that? Like you're like, I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to say hi. And then you don't, you ignore it. And then 2 days later you're at Macy's and there they are. And you're like, that was my opportunity to run into them 2 days ago. I should have reached out to them. And I truly believe that if you put these people in your prayers and your thoughts and you align yourself with the universe, like it comes back to you. I promise you that. I've seen it. I've lived it. A lot of my enrollments are people that I've prayed for, like individually prayed for. And I'm a God girl too. I would not be in this business without like universe, divine download from God. And I know that sounds so cheesy, but can anyone share, like, do you guys do that? Do you guys feel like you pray for people or have people on your mind, or like, people that are struggling with their health? Like Nicole didn't know I was struggling with my health, but maybe Nicole had some moments where she's like, I need to reach out to Jess. Like I didn't know Melissa at that time. I didn't know that she struggled with her health. But then when Josh was like, her daughter has celiac disease, I'm like, oh, Melissa struggles with her health. Like, I think it's just really important to put that perspective that everyone is going through something. So I think it's really important to always have that in your mind of who's praying for me to show up for them. I'm reading your messages.
That actually ties into something that I wanted to share. So just like divine, like intervention, or like things like running into people or things like that. I got this necklace. It has a little wildflower in it. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but there's like a little tiny wildflower in the center of it. And I love it because like actually it was a gift, and when I got it, I actually cried because like just out of the middle of nowhere, like I think I was just having a hard day and I opened it up and I just, for some reason, I just cried because I've always, so like when I was a little girl, I don't even know if this ties in, but in my mind it does. When I was a little girl, one of my favorite movies was called Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's like a really old movie, but it's about like a girl and a horse. Okay, she jumps off of this thing into the water and she's blind, right? But like she doesn't let her blindness hold her back. Like how many people in your life would be like, oh, I'm blind now. I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. Like my life is ruined. I'm never going to be anything, right? But I want you guys to all know that like we all have things in our life that have kind of crippled us, right? Trauma, something in our life that have kind of broken our hearts down a little bit and made us feel like that wild part of us was taken away. And so like that movie was just like my favorite because I've always felt like I had a wild heart. So when I got this, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is for my wild heart. And I thought about a wildflower because I love to hike. And I thought about how this one little tiny, I don't know if you can see it. It's tiny, you guys. This one little tiny wildflower. It blows away in the wind, right? Like the harsh environments blow one seed away. And it takes root in harsh climates of snow and wind and weather up in like the hilliest, coldest places up in the mountains. And it takes fruit and it blooms into a beautiful plant. And then that plant produces thousands of more tiny seeds. And those thousands of seeds blow away and then they create thousands of seeds. Your wild heart, even though it's in rough climate right now, maybe you're being tossed and turned and blown and rained upon and dumped upon, and you're just like, I can't do this. Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I dreaming? Right? You're being blown right into the place where you need to plant that seed. And when you plant that seed, beautiful things will come of it. And more seeds will scatter and bloom. And then more and more, like that ripple effect when you throw a pebble into the water. Like those ripples don't stop, even when you don't see them. They go on for so long. So I want you to think about your wild heart, because I know all of you are nodding. Yeah, I love that movie, because that movie touched us when we were little girls, because we all have a wild heart in us. But maybe you get a symbol for yourself, whether you have one of these necklaces, or maybe you buy one, or let me know if you don't have one and I'll buy one for you. But think of yourself as that wild seed. And though sometimes it feels like nothing is happening, whether it's in your business or whether it's in other goals that have nothing to do with plexus, but when you feel like nothing is happening, there are roots that are forming, and your harvest cannot be prevented. So keep showing up and keep taking action. Because if you keep taking action and watering that seed and all those things, your harvest will come. So Melissa, I wanted her just to share a little bit about her, whatever you want to share about. But I just feel like Melissa always shows up. She's consistent all the time. So I just wanted you to share a little bit about what works for you. Go ahead, take it away.
Okay. So, I don't know. Nicole asked me earlier if I would talk about what works for me, because I am consistently getting enrollment. It's not a lot, but it's something every single month. I have between 1 and 4 enrollments every month. And something that has really helped me, I think Christy started back in March. I can't remember. The very first time, I think it was in March, it was a 60-day push. And she was like, okay, I made these sheets. I think all of you have probably seen them. I don't know where my camera is. Anyway, they're still in the units. They're on the Synergy Builders page. But she did a 60-day push, and she said to do that and you would see something happen. And I was at the very beginning of sharing. And so I was like, what the heck, why not? I'll do it. So I did that, and I did get some good enrollments from it. And then I've just kind of followed her posts. I am the kind of person that sometimes I feel like I need to be told what to do or how to do it, and then I just kind of implement it into my life. I have a hard time coming up with my own things, I guess. So I like the checklists. I like marking it off or having ideas of what to do. So I did that little push with Christy. And then recently Christy started, it's called the Leadership Jumpstart. I think that's what it's called. And I just committed to doing a minimum of 1 hour a day of intentional work, because I find that the more intentional I am in whatever I'm doing, I'm able to be more productive. I've found it even in my social work job. But so I committed to that of doing 1 hour a day. So every day Christy posts in this group a list of different things to do. And you don't have to do all of the things on the list, but it gives you different things to be intentional in doing your work. And some of them are like, comment for 15 minutes on non-plexus posts, just being genuine and going through, because like we talked about earlier, a lot of times we find ourselves just mindlessly scrolling through different things. But if you're going to be scrolling, why not comment and post and give that genuine feedback and engage on other people's in other people's lives and on other people's posts. So spending time doing that, or reaching out to your friends or family, plexus or non-plexus, inviting people to the 3 days of plexus, and just doing different things. She gives you different ideas of what to do or different ideas of what to post on. And I've just kind of followed that and been intentional every day. I try to post like one personal thing every day and one plexus thing every day, whether it's a story or information or education. I just try to do something like that every day, so that I'm planting those seeds. And as I've done that, like I said, I've gotten either like between 1 and 4 enrollments every month, sometimes more. But I think just showing up and following the guidance of the leaders above us that have been here and experienced the ups and the downs, and just recognizing that we're going to have ups and downs, has helped me to be consistent in what I'm doing and consistent in my enrollments. So it's been really good for me to do that. I also have a list like Jessica in my planner of people. I mean, this is a newer list that I recently went through, like who was following my stories or who's liking and commenting on my posts, who have I talked to about it in one way or another, or who I think it might benefit. And I focus a lot on relationship building, and having those relationships so that when I'm reaching out to other people, I don't feel like I'm just reaching out to them about plexus, but I've been having a conversation with them about something else. So I don't know, that's kind of what I've been doing.
I love that. I love that it's the simple things. Like a lot of times, you guys, in our minds, we way overcomplicate it with stories of what other people are thinking about what we're doing, or whether people are going to want to do it. And like we create all these stories in our head, but a lot of it is just simple action, like Melissa said. It's just doing those little things, you know, forming new relationships, commenting, inviting people, being genuine with people, showing up, educating people. And Christy Jex is amazing, and she always, like every week, she posts something with like actionable steps. And it is the easy button, you guys. I encourage you all to go into Synergy Plexus Builders and go to her post that has action steps. And I'll be really honest, like when I first started the business, I couldn't even look at them because it would overwhelm me. I was like, oh my gosh, that is like so much stuff to do. Like I can't do that. Like my kids are interrupting me. They're all over my lap. Like it would totally overwhelm me. But I love that Melissa said she doesn't always do all of it. Sometimes she just checks off 3. And then the next day go back and be like, okay, now I'm going to do these 3. Like even if it's just a little bit, do just a little bit, right? So I wanted to also go over the company just announced some new 90-day sprint, and I'm really excited about this. And I don't know how many of you guys have heard about it, but I wanted to just make sure you know what's going on. So Leaders Retreat, I don't know if Lauren and Teresa were really much around during Leaders Retreat, so you might not be familiar with this, but during Leaders Retreat, you know, like the more people you enroll or your team enrolls, or like there's all these different ways that you can tally up points, and those points go towards prizes, right? Well, the company is now doing, like normally they do it for Leaders Retreat and they do it for convention. They do it like twice a year, but they just announced that this year they're going to do it 4 times. So they're going to do it 2 times outside of Leaders Retreat and convention. And so it started this month. So it's January, February, and March. It's a 90-day sprint. And what it is you're going to get points for rank ups, retention, and recruits, right? So anybody you enroll, you get 10 points for. And then you can look, I'm not going to go over like how the points all accumulate, because you can look in your back office or look at the pictures that I posted in my group page like a few days ago. But I'm just going to explain kind of what it is. So as you accumulate points, you can earn $100 for the first prize. The second prize is a sports pack, and that's like an Apple Watch and earbuds. I don't think that they're AirPods. I think they're like a type of an earbud. But an Apple Watch, I mean, for real, you guys, like the prizes are amazing. And then the next step up is $500, and then it goes to a MacBook Pro, and then I think the next one up is $1,500. So the prizes are really amazing. They're unreal. And they're just exciting. It's exciting to know that the company rewards us for helping other people with their health. So like as a stay-at-home mom that doesn't normally go out and buy those things, like I've never had an Apple Watch before. I'm like, oh, that might be kind of cool to have, right? And not have to pay for it. So that is for the next 90 days. So have that in mind as you're building your team, and also know that anybody can earn that. So even somebody that isn't here right now, you guys, one person can change your entire business. Like Jamie could have one person be like, oh yeah, like that's really cool. I want to earn an Apple Watch, and then want to just jump in and fly to gold, right? Or something like that. So it's a way that you can share with other people and let them know that they can earn that too by helping other people in their world towards better health, which is really awesome. But you guys can all work towards it as well. So I wanted to make sure you knew that. And then so I don't know what the other the quarters will be yet, because they'll announce them after the first one. But I know that at the end of next year, whoever is in the top 50, and I'm not quite sure how they're tallying the points. I think that they're tallying like how much you did per quarter and adding them all up, and whoever had the most points all together combined for each quarter, the top 50 of them are going to Paris. That's pretty incredible. So I thought that was fun. So the company is doing that. So keep that in the back of your minds. And it's not in our back office yet. I think during Leaders Retreat, when we're watching it, I think that they're going to have it updated by then. So it should be in your back office just like Leaders Retreat was, and you should be able to like watch your points tally up kind of the same way. So anyways, I just wanted you guys all to be clear on that. And I don't know, Jess, do you have anything else to share? Because that's kind of all that I wanted to talk about.
I actually want to, Lauren, I know I can't see your face right now, but I'm watching your comments, and I wanted to comment because I know you said, well, if I can't get anyone on board when it's on sale, how will I ever manage to get it when it's full price? Raise your hand if you're on this call and you paid full price. Carly, I know Melissa did, Jamie, Teresa. I think Tiffany actually paid customer pricing. Tiffany, yes, Tiffany paid customer pricing at first. I promise you, people will pay full price. They do it all the time. Carly wanted to return the products before she even bought them. Like, I promise you, people see the value in you, and then they see the value in the product. Like, that is the beauty about sharing about how you're feeling, is you're not just selling a one-time purchase. Everybody that I've sold Plexus to, and I'm using the word sold because I love to use the word share, but I have genuinely built a relationship with that person. They've become one of my best friends. And what I love about, actually, Nicole paid me $25, you guys, to order. Like, she was like, I promise you, these are worth it. I'm like, she almost had to like put the cherry on top. I already trusted her, but she was like, I'll pay for $25 because I had to pay full membership.
I gave her back my business bonus. I said, I'm not doing this to make money on you as a friend. And so I gave her back my full business bonus, which was the $25.
Right. So I want you to know that like people will pay the price because they see the value in the product in you. They are trusting you. That's where that trust and that relationship comes from, is they see the value. They see how you're feeling. It's not like a one-time ghost post, you know, when you post one time and then you'll ever post about it again, because it was like that one time you want to talk about it. That's why it's so important to continually talk about it. They start to see that you're feeling better. If you guys knew me before Plexus, yes, I have 5-day-old greasy hair, but today was the first day back to school, plus a Monday. You know how that goes. And it's been a busy day. But you guys, my life has completely shifted from going from 50 pills a day to like 9 a day. My life, my health has completely changed. And what's even crazy, and Melissa can testify to this because Melissa was spending a lot more money than I was in supplements before Plexus. But this is the first year in 2020 that we had $1,700 left over in my HSA account. And that all rolled over to this year. We've never had that money in our HSA because I was always spending money toward medical bills and ultrasounds and MRIs and CT scans on my neck. And it was like one thing after another that now I've invested in my health. Like, that expense has changed into an investment. It's part of my grocery bill. It's part of my life every month. I know this is what I spend on Plexus every month. That is where it came from. Yes, it was expensive at first and it wasn't on sale, but I promise you, they see the value. Carly saw it within 2 weeks of being on the products. It took me 5 months, you guys. I spent $260 a month because I was on the triplex X Factor Plus, and a loading dose of Ease. And just 3 bottles of loading dose of Ease was $105 a month. I was spending like $260 to $270 a month for 5 months before I felt relief. And I did it every month because I was seeing those small, subtle changes that was allowing me to show up for my spouse and for my kids. And I would do it over and over and over again. So like, Lauren, I want you to know, like, I'm reading some stuff too. Sorry, you guys, my husband just said the name of the person on my mind for weeks. Now he's being prompted about her too. Guess I should listen. See, it's crazy. The more you like think about it and put it out in the universe, it comes back. But that's what I wanted to add is like, I've been there too. I've even told Nicole, like, no one's going to ever, like, I've hit my dead end. I told Tiffany this the other day, like, I've hit my dead end. There's no one that needs help. Like, this is it. You guys, we live in a modern world and diet that our health is not going to get better from here. Like, even the other day, how often do people eat Twinkies every single day and soda and just feed that candida and sugar? If you have skin, if you breathe, you need supplementation. So this business is going nowhere. In fact, Plexus wants to, I think it was quadruple their ambassadors, people taking the products and getting their health back in the next 5 years. That is insane. We enrolled, I think, 400,000, Nicole, right?
Yeah. And that's why they're doing these sprints, because they want to incentivize people.
So like, I want you to know there's never a dead end. People will buy it at full price. People will buy it at, in fact, we have actually had this conversation, many of you, is a lot of the times I actually have a hard time giving someone a very good deal because they don't see the value in what they're buying. You know, when you go buy an expensive pair of jeans, okay, this is a great example. I have my very nice t-shirts, like 10 of them. I only wear them on holidays or on date nights, and that's without children. How many dates have I gone in a year? Probably 2 last year. So I've only wore those shirts twice, but it's because I don't want little tiny fingerprints and body fluids that come from my children on these shirts. But then I pull out my Gap t-shirt all the time and wear my Gap t-shirt, and I don't care what gets on it because the value of those 2 t-shirts were way different. I see the value in the most expensive shirt, right? Not saying that Plexus is the most expensive investment, but to someone, I feel like when they're putting that investment into their health at that cost, they see the value in it versus like kid vitamins from Costco for $9, you know, right on rebate. Like, I want you to know, like, they see the value in the products when they start the products. Does that help, Lauren? I hope that's helpful because I've been there too. Believe me, I talked to Tiffany about it the other day. I was like, I've hit my dead end. No one needs my help. And then I write this list, and I think there's 25 people on this list. So I'm like, there are people waiting. And this was only December, you guys. There are people praying. There are people that are breathing and that have skin. They need you.
But they need you to take action. Like, you can think about someone all you want, but if you don't ever talk to them about it, and if you don't follow up with the people that are already taking it, like, people are going to get left behind, right? Like, they need you to show up.
And I had to get in my mind too, like, I know you said above, like, what if you find all the reasons of why they don't want to take it? If we all assumed, everybody on this call, why they wouldn't want to take it, none of us would be here, right? Like, if Nicole assumed that I didn't want it because I was a nurse, she probably had that in her mind. She, you know, she's going to have her certain ways of what she takes and what she doesn't take, then I would have never come. And then if I assumed Melissa's answer and Carly's and Tiffany's, like, it's just like this ripple effect that if we assume people's excuse, none of us would be here and none of us would have had our lives changed and our health's changed for the better. Right. And I'm really passionate about that now. But I had to get past that. I was so scared of losing followers. I was scared of nasty comments. I had a falling out with a cousin. Like, it was really scary for me and some big hurdles to come over and push through. But now that I'm through them, I'm like, I am showing up for the people that need me to show up for them. And that's my children, my 3 kids, and my husband, and then all of you guys. Like, you guys are all my why. And I'll do it every single day. I will lose a follower if I can get a text from one of you saying, oh my gosh, I actually got up today and I was happy. Not even like a big drastic change, right? That might not be life-changing to someone, but to me, that is life-changing because I would sleep up until my alarm to even feed my kids cereal, you guys. I didn't even have the energy to get up to give them breakfast. So that's life-changing to me. So that's my why. And I'm in Tiffany's. I think if we see the value in it, they will too. Yes, I totally agree. And seeing the value in it is talking about it, not being afraid to talk about it and showing what it's done for you.
Lauren, like everything that you're scared about, I have been scared about before. And you will just learn as you go. And there is nothing wrong with telling someone, like if somebody asks you questions that you don't know, what you should be saying is, you know, I'm still new to learning this. Can I put you in a three-way message with the person that introduced the products to me? And putting them in a message with Jamie.
Or you just don't respond for a minute and then just text one of us and we'll respond with an answer. I've done that too. And then I'm like, sorry, I got busy, because you are busy texting someone else. But you can easily find out. I still don't know everything about the products and what they do. I still have to reach out to other people and ask questions. Like, there's always something to learn. And that's why I love this community, is because we're all here to help each other to do that.
And there's a place to search it. Go in one of the groups and search it if you can't get a hold of somebody. Go look for the answer yourself. I also, I just asked in the group, and I reached out to Emily Gibson. I'm like, is there grapefruit in the Slim? Because I've been asked that question 3 times in the last month. And I was like, what if I'm like 99% sure there's not, but what if I tell them wrong and then they get sick because it meshes wrong with their medication, right? And I was just like, oh, I'm just going to ask just to be sure. And I had to ask a question, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we don't expect you to know everything. And I really, I can relate to what you're saying so much, because that's just you clinging to certainty, right? And I think we all want certainty. We all want to make sure that we're right, and that we're going to do it right, and that we're going to have all the answers, and that everybody's going to like us, and that nobody's going to be wronged or mad, or, it's just clinging to certainty. And we all want it. And I think that, when I first started, I was in pretty massive scarcity, in all areas of my life. And I wanted certainty like no other. And you know what's certain? Who said this the other day? I heard this from someone. Do you know what's certain? Bagging groceries at a grocery store. That's certainty. You're going to stand at the end, and you're going to put the groceries in, and you're going to get paid the same amount every time. And you'll probably never be fired as long as you don't steal anything. That's certainty, right? But do you want to bag groceries for the rest of your life? Do you know what I mean? If you want certainty, you can have it, but you probably won't be happy there either. So dare to dream a little bigger, you guys, because there's a beautiful world out there full of all your dreams, and you can have them, but you've got to work for it. Nobody can do it for you, right? And I definitely am not trying to bully you, Lauren. I hope you don't feel that way at all, because this business has thrown me on a roller coaster of clinging to certainty for all of my life. I'm just oh, it's too scary. I would just rather lay in bed and watch Netflix. Not even joking. But I mean, you can do that. It's your choice, right? There's no shame in it. We all have a choice. I totally know how that feels. But I want you to know that you don't have to be right all the time. You don't have to know all the answers. That's why we're all here to support you. You don't have to do it on your own. And you don't have to do it perfect. So just show up a little bit every day. A 1% increase. 1% increase will get you really far in the next year. Anyways, that's all from me. Thank you so much for coming, ladies. I've enjoyed everything that's been shared, and I love you all so much. I'm so excited to spend the weekend with you guys. Thank you so much for working out your schedules and your routine to come spend the weekend with us. It's going to be amazing. We're so excited to see you. Jess and I have put a lot of work and thought into this, and we cannot wait.
And we'll miss you, Teresa and Tiff.
I know. Just come, Teresa. We'll make room for you. You can sleep with me.
Tiffany, you can come too. Just come.
Come. Anyways, I love you all, and please reach out if you have questions. We'll talk soon. Bye.